Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. To the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. We get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air getting thinner. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. In America's cities and towns today, flags will be placed on graves in cemeteries. Public officials will speak of the sacrifice and the valor of those whose memory we honor. In 1863, when he dedicated a small cemetery in Pennsylvania marking a terrible collision between the armies of North and South, Abraham Lincoln noted the swift obscurity of such speeches. Well, we know now that Lincoln was wrong about that particular occasion. His remarks commemorating those who gave their last full measure of devotion were long remembered. But since that moment at Gettysburg, few other such addresses have become part of our national heritage. Not because of the inadequacy of the speakers, but because of the inadequacy of words.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Their lives remind us that freedom is not bought cheaply. It has a cost. It imposes a burden. And just as they whom we commemorate were willing to sacrifice, so too must we.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it. Far above our poor power to add or detract, the world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but we can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth.
Let us also pledge to do our utmost to carry out what must have been their wish, that no other generation of young men will ever have to share their experiences and repeat their sacrifice. Earlier today, with the music that we have heard, and that of our national anthem, I can't claim to know the words of all the national anthems in the world, but I don't know of any other that ends with a question and a challenge as ours does. Does that flag still wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And it's Memorial Day weekend, and you are here on the JJDrones program. Yes, that's right. You haven't made a mistake. You're at the correct show. Thank you, Drew. We've got Drew in the chat. We've got TJ Giggles FPV. We've got Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. We've got my mom, Nancy Naylor, my dad, Dave Johnson. We've got Hunting and Stuff, David Fackrell, droning veteran, Christian from Mainlight Drone. Thank you all so very much. Exploring with Drew, thank you for being here. It is Memorial Day weekend, and it is the kickoff of our fundraising campaign. I think Ronald Reagan said it best when he said that we have one of the only national anthems that ends with a challenge, a question. That flag is still going to be there because of people that are going to be on this show today. I have been raised by some of the best people that I've known in my entire life, and they have instilled in me this service to God, to country, to my fellow man. And I am not going to give up. There may be times where I stumble, there may be times where I fall down. But the best thing that I've ever done with this channel was trying to raise money for Wreaths Across America. And this year we're going to add Mission 22 because The two organizations go hand in hand. Because if we can help our fellow soldiers that are coming back from battle, then we don't need to put on another wreath on a headstone. So thank you everybody for being here. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you for coming in, Morning Coffee with Mom. We're going to start bringing in some of our guests here, and we're going to go from left to right. And we're going to start off with our new friend, hopefully. Hopefully he's going to continue to be a friend of the program, Mr. Eric from Wreaths Across America. And then we've got the one, the only, you haven't seen him in a while, but his name is Gary from Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. And then we have from Coal Gray Racing, Mr. Russ Grey. And he is the man, the myth, the legend. He flies drones because he can't do anything else. His name's Dan. And then in the lower right-hand corner, Mr. Coal Gray. And you know him, you love him. He's FPVing, eating the hot dogs and hamburgers backstage. TJ Giggles FPV.
What's that?
So thank you everybody for coming in today. It is a special program. And I just want to bring Eric down here for right now because he's going to be the star of the show. And so everybody else I'm going to put on mute for right now just so that we don't get any sort of feedback. So if you do have questions for Eric, please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask a question, or like Gary, you can raise your hand. So Eric, welcome to the program. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Jason.
So why don't you start off by giving us a little bit of a rundown of your service, because obviously, I was told you were in the Air Force.
I was C-130 Loadmaster in the Air Force, 24 years, 10 deployments. Retired a little over 2 years ago.
So how's retirement been?
Well, I mean, I still have a full-time job at the bank, so I'm still working a lot. But at least I don't have the weekends I got to work or going overseas, things of that nature. That part I don't, that part of it I do kind of miss the people. I don't miss all the deployments and all. So been stateside for a while, so that part's been good.
So what got you involved with Wreaths Across America?
Yeah, I've been involved in my local area here in Delaware with a lot of different organizations, and one year I happened to just be out at the cemetery for the event, and they needed help, and so I just kind of raised my hand. I was basically securing the wreaths. We were just trying to make sure that they didn't get taken before the ceremony, things of that nature. And they gave me that task. I did it. I've got some Boy Scouts, some Air Patrol, ROTC cadets, and we basically monitored the cemetery. It's pretty large cemetery, and that was how I started. And then within that first year, the coordinator for that site happened to have a pretty severe stroke, and he wasn't able to take on the task anymore. So then they kind of said, "Oh, Eric would be good at that," and here I am today, 7 years later, with being the site coordinator for the site. So yeah, it was having to be part of it. I enjoy it. It's a great event every year. It's a year-long thing. To try to raise money and bring awareness, and then it culminates. It's kind of like a wedding. It culminates in that one big day in December, and it's kind of like a big sigh of relief, and you're glad you were able to do it, and it's there. But it's definitely worthwhile, and allows me to give back a little bit to our local community. So
how many headstones are in your cemetery?
We have a little over 20,000 headstones. I'm the coordinator for Delaware Veteran Cemetery in Bear, Delaware. And so, yeah, so there's a little over 20,000 headstones there. They do also have the mausoleums and different things of that nature. There's over like 24,000 and buried there, and the whole cemetery is veterans. So everybody there is a veteran, has veteran status. So some cemeteries that take part across America, those people are intermingled throughout a cemetery. This cemetery is totally veterans there.
Okay. Now, you said that because we were talking backstage earlier, you said that you were able to put on about 8,500 wreaths, did you say?
My top was 8,250 was my top year, right the year before COVID. We were able to get over 8,200 donated. The company's great because the company always gets some extra. So, I mean, that was with the company. Sometimes they'll know where there's needs and they'll have excess. And then, truckers like yourself will end up calling me and I'm getting more wreaths than I thought I was getting, and that's good. We always like bigger numbers, in that regard. So, but yeah, 8,200 was my best year there. It's been very tough. I mean, I have corporate connections. I work for a large bank and I reach out to a lot of other corporations, and it's just, they're fundraising, the purse strings are tight, especially in the last several years. It's really hard. So that's why I welcome, Gary reached out to me and I really welcome the opportunity to be here to talk about our program and be part of what you're doing. And so, I really appreciate that, the willingness to take part.
So the link that you sent to me backstage was wreathsacrossamerica.org, and then the pages and all the gobbledygook after that. That is that a way to reach your branch of the Wreaths Across America?
That goes right to our site. So if you were to put that link in, it'll take you right to your site. It's one thing it's such a large program. We're getting near 4,000 locations worldwide that take part in Wreaths Across America.
Yes.
I don't know how long I have, Jason. I meant to ask you how long but really quick. I mean, this program, I don't know how much people know, but it started as a man in Maine had some extra wreaths, Morrill Worcester. He had like 30 extra wreaths one year, and he says, I want to go to the local cemetery and I'm going to put these wreaths on the veterans' graves. He did that. Out of that, there was a famous picture. There happened to be a photographer there, and there was a famous picture taken, and then it was kind of circulated, and then he decided, I'm going to go to Arlington next year. So the next year he took, several hundred wreaths to Arlington, and then started to make it an annual event of laying some wreaths on the veterans' graves. And after doing it there several years is when he determined, there's a need for this, there's a calling. And that's when he made it a national event where they started going out. That was in 1995, where he actually made the nonprofit that said, all right, we're going to be out there for any site that wants to partake. But it started out at 30 wreaths at a little cemetery up in Maine. And now we're laying wreaths over in Normandy. They've laid wreaths in Germany, France, England, as well as, over 4,000 sites stateside. So it's pretty impressive how large it's gotten.
And the following with it is incredible. Being up in Maine, have you been to the site up in Maine?
I have been up there to Maine once, yes.
Okay, so you know how absolutely stunning the location is. Hey, Jamie, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. So the entire operation that they've got, maybe I know that I took a drone shot. I think it's either 3 or 4 different airplane hangars that they have that are just filled with wreaths when it comes time for the loading process, and they go through millions and millions and millions of these little branches to create the wreaths. And so the operation takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. And for somebody like you that's trying to fill a cemetery, of the tens of thousands, and only being able to get a little over 8,000, I definitely want to help out. You have my email address, and definitely email me. Let me know how you're doing, and I'll let you know how I'm doing on my fundraising side. And we'll definitely stay in touch and try and help you out this year.
No, I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, one big thing about the program, the motto is remember, honor, teach. So we remember our heroes that are fallen, we honor them in the way that we can, and then we teach our youth about their service. So that's one thing that's near and dear to me. Is I actually have a couple coordinators that their job that morning is they actually hold classes with the children, with the youth that come. We have probably 2,000 volunteers that show up the day of. And all the children do this program where they learn about the wreath. There's certain parts of the wreath and what they mean. They learn how to lay a wreath properly. One thing I wanted to mention on this holiday that they're speaking of, it's kind of weird to call it a holiday, but this day, that Memorial Day, is that somebody famous once said, and I'm paraphrasing, but a service member, servicewoman, somebody in the military, they basically, they die twice. They die the last time they take their last breath, and then the last time their name is never uttered. So that's one reason that we say these names. So as we lay a wreath on these graves, we're saying everybody's name. That's one thing. Even though I wasn't able to lay 20,000 wreaths in my cemetery, we did have the children go to every gravestone and acknowledge everybody and at least say their name. So as long as their name's being said, the memory of them is still alive and they're still with us because we're talking about them and we're speaking of them. So if anybody takes anything out of it, is just think about that, and as we honor these people, that's one thing that we do is we want our youth to be there, and we always say their name because we want them to never be forgotten.
Amen, brother. Do you want to, if you want later, you can tell me or not tell me, but later on, if you want, I can put your email address in the description of the video, or they can just email me to get in touch with you if they want to further contact you. But in fact, let's just do it that way. The easiest way to do it is email me if you want to get in contact with Eric and learn more about his organization, or just go to the link that I'm going to put back into the
link
chat.
Also has my phone number and email within that page too, so it has my information there as well. So yeah.
Okay, so go to the link that's in the chat, and if you want to get in touch with Eric, and Eric, I invite you to come back, and this is something that's going to be going on until Thanksgiving. I start today and I end at Thanksgiving, and I think that's probably the most proper day to end a fundraising drive at something like this. And Gary has a question. So let me unmute Gary before we let you go. Go ahead.
Right. We ended on Cyber Monday, sir.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We do end on Cyber Monday because we do the last ditch effort. So thank you for reminding me. Yes, we do our last ditch.
For the year for Reese is Giving Tuesday now is what they normally do, which is that Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So like if donations have to be postmarked or made on the website or whatever by the Tuesday, Giving Tuesday, for it to go towards this year. Worst case, it just rolls to the next year, but
right.
So just to keep that in mind with your timing of when you're wrapping things up.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get that at the very minimum. We'll get the donations in for this year by Monday at the very latest. So thank you for that reminder too. Do you have any final thoughts?
I really don't. I just appreciate what everybody's doing here, and I'm looking forward to listening to some of the others. I got a couple young ones I'm going to help put to bed, but I'm going to have you guys on, and nice meeting everybody. And please reach out if there's anything I can do to help your organizations. I work with Mission 22 as well, so I'm on game with that. So if you need anything from that side, as well as Reese across America, and I'll definitely I'll be back on your show at some point. I'm sure Jason at least listening and watching.
Well, I'm going to bring you back so that we can go more in depth on that Mission 22. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
All right. Thanks a lot.
That's Eric. How about that guy, huh? Probably one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet, right there. That Eric. We were talking backstage before the program, and he's just salt of the earth kind of a guy. And couldn't be happier to have him on the program, and I'm looking forward to working with him in the future. But now, before we get into our next guests, let's take a look of a little bit of, let's see here. Now, they have been gracious to this channel, and we do appreciate them doing this because it wasn't something they had to do, but it was something that they wanted to do. Cole Grey Racing, the number 17 car, and you can see on the front of the hood there, they do have the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity logo right there on the front. And Cole, I don't think it's supposed to go on the grass. I think you're supposed to be on. I'm not a racing expert, but I am a thinker. Okay, and I do think that the car is supposed to go on the pavement part. But you can correct me here in a minute. But here's the car. Here's him in victory lane, and there is a picture of the car. And at the beginning of the program, I was trying to play the video of our intro that I created, and instead of doing that, I just kind of had something right. Let's see here. I know I'm screwing this all up, but this is why this is a train wreck. Okay, here we go. And then look at him go. So everybody, welcome to the program, Mr. Cole Grey and, oh, sorry, I'm trying to unmute you, Mr. Cole Grey and Mr. Russ Grey.
Thank you.
So Russ, I'm going to start with you because you're the dad, and then we'll go to the driver. When we were talking at one of the events that we do for Wisconsin Motor Carriers, and you and I were sitting there talking, and you're like, well, you know, we don't have a sponsor for the hood. Why don't you take it? First of all, thank you very much for offering that. That was just, you know, a very, very generous offer. But after, you know, hearing from a guy like Eric, you know, what does it really mean when you hear somebody talking about Wreaths Across America and what kind of organization it is and what it means to somebody like that?
Well, that's what gave me the
Ryan, trainee.
Gave me the idea to get you put the picture on the hood. It means a lot just to get it out there, and so other people can see it, and you know, bring awareness to what's going on.
Now, Cole, have you ever heard of Wreaths Across America?
I did not beforehand, no.
Okay, and so what does it mean to you, you know, after learning a little bit about it? Because, I mean, we could do an entire hour and teach you all the things there are to know about Wreaths Across America. But after learning just a little bit of what the charity means, what does it mean to you to have that on the front of your race car?
Well, you know, it's a great thing to spread the word about and actually get it out there, and to be able to, you know, just push it more, I believe is always just a great thing. You know what I mean? Just spread it to more people. People always come and look at the cars, you know, and just to get it out there, I believe is a great way. Just a message. It means a lot.
So how long have you been racing, Cole?
I've been racing ever since I was about 4 years old, and I started in four-wheelers, actually.
Four-wheelers?
Yes.
Wow. So how do you go from what the progression from four-wheeler to big old race car?
Well, with the four-wheeler, it started with my parents. They were running essentially a four-wheeler race at the fairgrounds, and we slowly, my mom thought that was getting a little bit too dangerous, as they do, and she wanted to get me in a bit of a more safer environment. So from there, we actually went to go-karts, and just progressed through the ladder to a legend car, and then later on to now a late model. So it's just a forward progression type of thing.
Now, Russ, your wife is a safety director for Breakbush, and we all love her. But how does she handle Cole driving a race car?
She doesn't. She usually sits up in the stands and videotapes the races. She's trailer support. She's in the trailer and she'll make lunch and supper for us and stuff like that. And until I get a little cranky, because I'm usually just Cole and I, and then we there's a lot to do to a race car to get it ready to go racing. You got to check tires, check tire pressures, and all that stuff. Well, then she'll get out there and do some of that stuff. She gets a little nervous when he's out there, and he's been in a couple fender benders already, and nothing real serious. Even in the Legends car, even in the go-karts, he's flipped one up and slide down on himself. And he raced go-karts, like I say, when he was 5 or 6 years old, and we raced it up to Lacrosse. They got a little track up there, and he flipped one up on side down there. He's 5 years old, and she gets a little nervous about that, but he's a tough kid. He can take it. He's a wrestler. He can get out there and get after it. He understands what it is to win, lose, or draw. So but like I say, she can handle it. She's getting more and more used to it, I should say. Like I say, the last couple of years we've had problems with the car, but we're getting it ironed out. And like I say, this Friday night we're going to take it down to Oregon on the half mile, and it's a double features down there. A lot of people come over after the races and look at the car and stuff like that. They see that emblem on the hood and stuff like that, and they ask questions, and we let them know. They make sure they get the copy of the little insignia on the hood. They can download it on their phones, and they find all that stuff out. So without her, though, I mean, she's the biggest support we got.
And that is the fact that you guys have it as a whole family affair is fantastic. The one thing that Cole, that I just wanted to share with you as well is we're not only doing Mission or Wreaths Across America, but there's another organization called Mission 22. And just so I just want you to know what is on the hood of your car. And here's a little explanation of what Mission 22 is. Hopefully, yeah, I've got it up there. All right, so here's Mission 22.
Mission 22 is dedicated to unite the country in the war against veteran suicide. Bringing our veterans home is every American's job. Ambassadors are creating impact in their community across the country. Mission 22 has comprehensive treatment programs for post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury at no cost to veterans. This is an American issue. No matter where you stand, there's a place for your support. Visit mission22.com to learn more.
One morning outside, just like this, sun shining, blue skies, and it happened so fast that I didn't feel anything. All I heard was like a very light ringing in my ear.
I think the most serious feelings is one of guilt, of not being able to save people.
I'm going to stop it right here for a second. Since I'm going to read this because it's important. Since September 2001, roughly 6,800 veterans have died in combat. That's how many have died. In that same time period, more than 120,000 veterans have taken their own lives. And that's why Mission 22 is here.
I have lost more brothers back home to suicide than I ever did overseas. And that's unacceptable.
Those are some of my nighttime meds right there. Combine that with that, and I'd be done. I'm not even gonna feel it.
So I'm out of the military, I'm no longer a Green Beret, I don't have a job, and then somebody I respected very highly hung himself.
It was a dark place, and that's when I started to realize I was going to kill myself.
These are guys who have given their lives, given their friends' life, so that we can live free. We seem like we prepare them for war, but unfortunately we don't prepare them for life.
It takes everybody to come together and work as a team and make this right and get these guys and girls the help that they need. I don't want to put another brother in the ground.
Sharing my story for the first time and seeing the effect that it had on people, because now they're starting to understand. You know, just because I'm a veteran missing a leg does not mean my life is over. No, it just means my life is beginning.
And a huge thank you to Mission 22 for what they do to help our service members that are coming back from battle. You know, this is really an amazing organization, and I cannot take the credit for having this organization in my forefront. This was actually brought up to me by Brian from Cheesehead Media. So Brian, if you're listening, thank you so much for bringing this organization to my attention. And we raised about $100 for them, well, a little over 100 last year, maybe 200. But I really do believe that they're an organization that needs to have the same amount of attention brought to them as much as Wreaths Across America, because of what they do for our veterans. So Cole and Russ, I'll let you guys both kind of take this question, and then I'll let you guys, you can stay on or you can drop off, whichever you would like to do. But Mission 22 is something that is going to be very important as far as you know, raising money as well. After learning a little bit more about the organization, you know, does that kind of motivate you to try and, you know, work a little bit harder to you know, try and raise money for the organization?
I would, yes. Again, if you have a decal or something to that effect and want to add that to the hood of the car, wouldn't be a problem. You know, and like I said, that out there, because you've seen the hood, there's a lot of room up there to put anybody's name on there, and it's got yours to start with. So I'll be more than happy to put more stuff on there and whatever it takes to help the program along.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I will get, and I want to thank my stepdad, Lee Iverson. He was the one that made the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. I think what I'll ask him to see if we can get a Mission 22 and Wreaths Across America logo and put them side by side, maybe above it, because the charity in itself is going to fund both organizations. And I know it has it in the paper, you know, that you guys have to hand out, but maybe that would be helpful to do something like that. So I'll see if I can get him on that as well.
Sure, and even, you know, to add to that, put like an American flag up above it. I was just thinking, and we could put that right in the center of the hood there. I mean, that would really dress it up. It'd look nice, and I think a lot of people would do that. There are other racers that I see at the track. They have like POW hood stuff on there that they're for their organizations and stuff like that for the POWs. And, you know, we'd be more than happy to be part of the group to, you know, show that out there and let people know, you know. And like I say, the nice thing about putting it on the hood is the fact that if he does get a little fender bender with the front end, we can always replace the hood. But
that's right.
Fenders in the grill and stuff like that, yeah, but the hood doesn't get busted up too much. But if it does, then that's easy to replace, you know.
Oh, exactly.
It's been a pleasure and an honor to do to be a part of the group, and like I said, I'd like to continue right on with that.
We appreciate that, Cole.
Yeah, thank you so much for, you know, having us on the show and being able to spread the word about Mission 22 is also, I believe it's a great thing to be able to do, and I would just as well love to put that on the car.
Well, Russ and Cole, thank you very much. We loved having you on the program today, and definitely come back, because this, like I said, is going to be going on until November, so we'd love to have you back.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, so we're going to bring up the mics on TJ Dan and Gary. I think, oh, Gary, you are muted yourself, so I cannot unmute you. So guys, from what you've seen at the beginning of the show, what do you think so far? TJ, we can't hear you. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
You broke it.
I have an observation.
Yes, Gary.
Okay, I would like the droning vendor to send Cole a bottle of blinker fluid, because I noticed all those left turns he was making, he never once put his turn signal on.
That is true. He did not. Come on, Cole.
So, Dan, I mean, this has got to really mean something to you, though, because being a veteran yourself, talking to these guys, the fact that they're willing to go out there and do this service for the fellow veterans out there.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, TJ. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
So we'll let Dan answer this question, and we'll come back to you, TJ. So what does it mean to you, Dan, to see these guys going out there and doing such an amazing job to help out?
I think it's freaking awesome. So I'm rooting for them whenever they race. I mean, I used to go to the races all the time, and then somebody decided that a warehouse on a racetrack would make more money, so they got rid of the racetrack and turned it into a warehouse, so there's no more racetrack. Boom.
No. Yeah, well, I guess go if you're in the Madison area next Friday. Cole Grey Racing is going to be out there racing around the half-mile track, and they think they have all their motor problems figured out, so he should be able to take the checkered flag next weekend. So go check him out. We're going to be huge supporters of Cole Grey Racing here on the channel. TJ.
Yeah, so what I was saying was at the beginning when the pano around the big American flag, I thought that was pretty awesome. And I was assuming that was done with your Air 2S?
That was the Mini 4.
Oh, the Mini 4, okay.
Yeah, the Mini 4 awesome. Is an amazing drone. Did a great job on that. Gary.
Yeah, that was a big, huge flag, by the way.
Yes, that was a huge flag. It's one of those big car dealership flags up, and that was up in Maine at the Wreaths Across America headquarters.
Wow, how long and wide is it?
I couldn't give you the dimensions because I didn't ask, but I can tell you it's huge because they have to put it up on that big crane just to fly it.
How long does it take for them to mount it on the crane like that?
Pretty long time.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yes, G Money.
I just want to acknowledge that the gentleman from Chattanooga, Tennessee is in the comment section.
Yeah, I just saw that. He says, hi, JJ and everyone. Marty from Wreaths Across America at Chattanooga National Cemetery. Thank you, everyone, for all you did in 2023 and 24. We will fill Chattanooga again this year. And that is a great segue to the next part of the program that I want to bring in. So let's go up here. Just want to show the little bit of a history that we have with Wreaths Across America over the past 2 years. And you know, what did the JJDrones program do to help out? And I'm not saying me myself. I'm saying basically all of you. So let's go here. And I've got Andy Mullins here. He knows a lot about the cemetery down here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Andy, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
We're at the Chattanooga National Cemetery. It's the second largest national cemetery in the United States, only behind Arlington. It was started in 1863 during the Civil War as a military cemetery. Chattanooga area, Chickamauga, Georgia, North Georgia is very famous for Civil War battles and things like that. Battle of Lookout Mountain, quite a few. Sherman came through here on his march. Currently, approximately 120 acres is what we have here in this area. Currently, about 49,000 buried already. We have room for about another 10 to 15,000 more. They recently were just able to acquire some additional property. Today we are decorating 33,700 tombstones.
Wow.
That's very emotional to me. This year we've sold over 10,000 wreaths. Next year already our goal is to be able to cover all 49,000. So we bury here each day anywhere from 10 to 15 veterans per day. Double stacked, wives, spouses can be buried here with them, and we're just very proud of it.
Now, my YouTube channel, I've just got a small YouTube channel. We've got about 465 subscribers. But even though we only have such a small channel, my subscribers actually donated enough to get 15 wreaths for your cemetery this year. So,
thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Because this is a. I'm sitting here with Marty Nix. Marty Nix has been organizer for Wreaths Across America down here in Chattanooga, Tennessee for a number of years. And I just wanted to talk to him. Marty, tell us how today went.
So this was a banner year. We wound up filling the cemetery for the first time. I've been doing this for 18 years, and we finally filled the cemetery. So thank you to Break Brush and you and all of your people out there. We've made it happen.
Now Marty's actually a subscriber to the channel, so he's been there along for our journey to raise money for Wreaths Across America. The fact that we have such a small YouTube channel, yet we were able to raise so much money, what does that mean to the people of Chattanooga?
Well, especially to be from somewhere else and to care this much about it, we really appreciate it.
And that is what you all did. That is what the viewers of this channel did. So now, Wreaths Across America and Mission 22 are both going to be very high on our list. But there was one thing that I did want to share with you about Wreaths Across America. And I think this is the last video that I have to share. There might be one more, but I'm trying to give you guys a really good idea of what you're going to be donating money for. And so, what is a wreath? What is a wreath? Well, Wreaths Across America tells you right here what is a wreath.
Ask yourself, where would I be? What would my life be like? Was it not for our veterans who have stepped up for all of us, time and time again over the course of our nation's history? Hello, I am Miles Worcester. My grandfather is Morrill Worcester. He is the founder of Wreaths Across America, and he says he is just a wreath maker from Maine. He has been asked countless times, what is a veteran's wreath, and why do we place wreaths on veterans' graves? A veteran's wreath is made of 10 bouquets. Each bouquet describes a veteran. The first bouquet stands for a veteran's belief in greater good. The second bouquet stands for their love for one another. The third bouquet stands for a veteran's strength, work ethic, and character. The fourth bouquet stands for a veteran's honesty and integrity. The fifth bouquet stands for a veteran's humility, selflessness, and modesty. The sixth bouquet stands for a veteran's ambitions and aspirations. The seventh bouquet stands for a veteran's optimism for their fellow Americans and for our country. The eighth bouquet stands for the veteran's concern for the future and for future generations. The ninth bouquet stands for a veteran's pride to carry out their duties. The 10th bouquet, and final bouquet, stands for the veterans' hopes and dreams that didn't always come true, but left with no regrets. Now this wreath, made with 10 bouquets, is a symbol of honor, respect, and victory. It is made from evergreens, which symbolizes longevity and endurance. The circular shape symbolizes eternity and has no beginning and no end. Its clean forest scent symbolizes purity and simplicity. Its red bow symbolizes the great sacrifice. This year, when you place a wreath on a veteran's grave, you know it's not just a wreath, it's a personal gift to an American hero. And you will swell with pride knowing that you have done something very, very special. God bless our veterans, and God bless America.
Thank you, Wreaths Across America, for explaining what a wreath is. And that was actually the founder of Wreaths Across America. Yes, TJ. Oh, TJ's got to go for a minute. They're just an amazing organization. And as Eric was talking about earlier, how it just started off with an extra 30 wreaths, you know, to turn into a movement of over 4,000 locations around the world is just absolutely amazing. And the Wreaths Across America program and Mission 22 are both two great organizations that the JJDrones program, through our charity, the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity, is going to support this year. Now, the Lee and Betty Johnson Charity Memorial Charity, if you don't know about it, go check it out. It's the featured video on my website. Both of my grandparents were in the service. They both served honorably. They both have a great history in the service, but what they did after they got out of the service is what really makes them great individuals, because not only did they teach others about service, responsibility, and love of God and country, but they taught it to their grandchildren. And I'm trying to carry that on in my life. And this is how I try and honor them. And so we're going to help raise money like we did last year. Hopefully we can actually do more than we did last year. But my dad just offered to match $500 if we hit the first $1,000. So once we hit $1,000, my dad will throw in another $500. And as of right now, we are sitting at $240 in donations. Now that $5,000 goal is just a starting point, because we did $5,440 last year. So we're going to try and surpass that. And the only way we're going to do that is from help with you guys. So there are multiple ways to donate. And there's ways that you can donate where you can actually donate money, and there's other ways that you can do it where it's not going to cost you a thing. And well, how is it not going to cost me a thing? Go to my YouTube channel and watch a couple of videos. That's it. Go watch the YouTube video, watch the ads before, after, if they put one during, watch the ads, because the ads actually make the channel money. And am I going to make a bank doing that? No, I've right now, I can tell you, just looking at my phone, exactly how much I have made so far. It's $17.40. Guess what? That's one wreath. That's one wreath. So the more people watch my videos and they watch the ads, the more money goes into that coffer, okay? That's one way that you can actually go out there and help make money. Here's another way. If you're shopping on Amazon, well, you don't have to do it without helping donate money to the charity. All you have to do is go to JJDrones360.com, go to this link right here that says Amazon. You click on that. All right. So now we're on the Amazon page. All right. So now, if you go down here, there's a whole bunch of products. Now, it doesn't have to be any of these products that you're going to buy. You don't have to buy any of these products. Let's say you want to buy tube socks, Dan. Right? So I'm going to click on this one. So I'm here at this camping light, which is absolutely phenomenal. And Dan, you can attest to that.
It is. I love it.
And you click on tube socks, and there you go. You buy your tube socks, and I will get some money put into my Amazon Associates account. And all the money raised on my YouTube channel, all of my money raised on my Amazon Associates account are all going to go towards Wreaths Across America and Mission 22, every single dime. And I've done that over the last 2 years.
You need the 4-stripe tube sock. The 4 stripes tube sock. Those are the
Oh,
ones
I'm sorry.
No.
G-Money, did you have something to say?
Yes. I see Dan wearing YouTube socks. YouTube socks.
Oh yeah. Just have like a big red stripe with white lettering that says YouTube on it.
Gator Jake says, I've seen too many of my friends buried in defense of this great nation over 32 years of service, both active 20 years. Thank you for your service, sir. And civilian 12. This weekend is always very heavy. Thank you for all you do, JJ. Thank you so much.
You know, I think I find it really interesting how I've always wondered how they made wreaths. I didn't know that they stapled or however that guy was doing it, like how they just kind of stuck it on a metal
metal ring
thing.
Yep.
I thought they were just kind of maybe woven together somehow, one way or another. I don't know.
Well, that's how they make it up in.
I was like, oh my God, is that how wreaths are made? Oh my God, that's amazing.
Drew, I'm not sure if the Amazon.ca does the same thing, but if you do buy something through Amazon and just email me or text me and let me know, and I will let you know if it works, because I'm not sure about if it works through Canada or not. The other way that you guys can donate is by cash or check. If you want to do that, you can get my address. All you have to do is email me, jason@jjdrones360.com, and I will send you my address to send me the cash. Now, if you do donate through the charity, it's the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. So definitely make sure that you have that in the check, and then I will send you, or I will email you back or snail mail you back a receipt so that you can use that for tax purposes. Okay. So if you go out there and you already do, for your taxes, you deduct items on your taxes, well, this would be something else that you could deduct. The PayPal website, or PayPal from my website. Okay. Now I do have the link for PayPal linked in the chat, so you can actually just use the link that's sitting in the chat right now. But if you go to my website, go to jjdrones360.com/donate, there's multiple ways for you to donate. Now, if you want to donate to, it doesn't matter if it's going to Mission 22 or Wreaths Across America, you just donate clicking on this top one here. Okay. And once you click on that, you'll be able to donate, and there will be no fees. It'll put it into the general fund, and then you can go ahead and just donate whatever you would like. Now, it does give you the option on that, and it's not giving me the option to show you this page, so I do apologize. But that one is just a one donation thing. Now, if you want to donate specifically to Wreaths Across America using Venmo or PayPal or Square, all you have to do is click on it. This one is for Wreaths Across America. Again, it's not letting me show you, and I don't know why. But are you guys even seeing this?
No.
I'm not seeing anything.
Okay, so this has all been kind of Yes, welcome to the train wreck.
Ah, there we go.
Okay. So now, if you want to donate with no fees into the general fund, you click on the top one, and it gives you the option to donate. This is just going directly into the general fund. There are no fees, and you can donate as much or as little as you want. And you will get a receipt in your email that basically says all this. The Lee and Betty Johnson Charities, a recognized 501c3 organization that has been established to raise funds for organizations such as Wreaths Across America and Mission 22. Okay, so we've got that one. And then if you want to donate specifically to Wreaths Across America, all you have to do is click, and I don't know why, but I'm going to have to go back and share the screen again. Oh, I know why. Because I'm a moron, and you shouldn't let morons play with electric equipment. Okay. So now, if you click on donate to Wreaths Across America using PayPal, instead you get this screen, and you can do a one-time, a monthly, or a yearly contribution, and then you put that number right in there, let's say $20, and then it'll ask you, do you want to add 91 cents to help cover the fees? And the reason that there are fees is PayPal's actually charging you to segregate it. So if you want to do it for Wreaths Across America or Mission 22 separately, there's going to be fees. If you want to donate using Venmo, there's going to be fees. If you want to donate using Square, there's going to be fees. The only way to donate with no fees is by clicking on that top button, and then you can donate as much or as little as you want, and there'll be no fees, but it'll go into the general fund. And hunting and stuff, yes, it's JJDrones360.com/donate. It's JJDrones360.com/donate. I will type that in right now. Gator Jake was actually helping out a lot doing that too. So thank you, Gator Jake, for doing that earlier. .com/donate. All right. So that is the link. And if you click on that, it'll bring you to all of those donation buttons. Now, we're going to be doing this throughout the year. We're going to have some auctions. Kathy from 906 Quilting Services, she's already been working on another quilt. We're also going to, I tried to sell the Avada a little bit earlier a few weeks ago, and I had no interest in purchasing it. So we're going to auction off that Avada drone to try and raise money. So we're going to have a couple of auctions. I'm going to talk to Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors, see if we can't get any of his baits or something to add to the auction. But hey, Tony, thank you so much for coming in. Sorry, I'm reading my notes. We've also got another fundraising drive. I'm going to be bringing my trailer back out to Pennsylvania again this summer. So we're going to do a match. So anybody that's interested in matching my miles for 10 cents a mile to Pennsylvania and back, you are more than welcome to do so. We also have our Spreadshirt shop. Hey, Drew, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Let's see here. JJ, can a person donate any time of the year? Or any time of the year. Any time of the year. You don't have to donate any particular time. This is just where I do the push. This is where I just go out there and I say, okay, we're going to do our official fundraising drive at this point. But those links are good all year round. It doesn't really matter when you donate. So, and this fundraising drive, like I said, it will go through, it'll go through Cyber Monday. Now, we do also have our Spreadshirt shop. So our Spreadshirt shop is actually, if you want to buy any merch, and I know I talk about it all the time at the beginning of the program. And let me go here. Let's see here. go to shops and visit shop. All right, so here is the Spreadshirt shop. Maybe? Okay. So it's jj-drones.myspreadshop.com. And if you come on here, we have everything from Welcome to the Train Wreck, Blinker Fluid of the Week, and JJ Drones products. And you can actually go in and you can personalize these things however you want. They've got everything from t-shirts to hoodies. You can see an apron there for Dan for when he's cooking on his Traeger grill. And, you know, there's water bottles, all sorts of stuff. And if you go in there and you purchase anything, I get a commission off of whatever is sold in there. And anything that is sold in the Spreadshirt shop will be sent or will be given to the charity. So we've got YouTube views, we've got Spreadshirt, we've got Amazon, we've got fundraisers, we've got auctions, we've got multiple ways to donate. And then Brian from Cheesehead Media, when he's able to come back on the program, he's also going to announce another way that someone's going to be able to donate money. Thank you, Gator Jake. Appreciate that. So I think that there is plenty of ways for people to find a way to donate. And you don't really have to spend money, because I know that it's hard on everybody. But, you know, I really want to help out, and I really want to break the record that we broke last year. And I think Mr. Gary has something to say about that.
I just noticed earlier, I don't know if you saw it, but Gator Jake dropped $50 towards the cause.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Gator Jake. Yes, I did not see that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. And we're going to add that to the total. So we're back up, or we're at $290. So if somebody wants to donate another $10 before we end the live stream, that would put us at $300 even. So definitely, if you're interested in doing that, we would be happy to take it. Dan's looking at his wallet.
I left it downstairs or upstairs. Oops.
Gary,
something told me to leave it upstairs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I knew you had something else to say, Gary.
I just want to let you know that $290 divided by 17, that's the cost of a wreath. That would be 17 wreaths.
Wow. That's and that's already going above our first year donations. And I'm not trying to meet our first year donations. I don't even want to meet last year's donations. I would love to exceed them. And like I said, my dad is willing to throw in $500 when we hit our first 1,000. And we're already, you know, a third of the way there. So, and today is just the starting point. So the other thing that you can do to help is by sharing out these videos. Share this video to your friends, share it on your social media, share it wherever you can, because this is how we help other people. This is how we hashtag find a way to serve. This is how we help Mission 22. This is how we help out organization like Wreaths Across America. So Dan, what do you have to say?
Oh, I'm glad to be a part of it. And, you know, this day, I hope this weekend, everybody takes time to reflect on the men and women that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Back in 2020, January 2020, I was already in the military, and we actually went from, this was in January, mind you. I was stationed in Alaska. So we left -30 degrees And after a 12-hour C-130, we was enjoying wonderful 80-degree weather in Hawaii. It was wonderful. But on that trip, on that little field exercise, on the second to last day before we returned home, we got to spend a half a day at the USS Arizona Memorial. And it was at that moment there that it hit me of what I was doing. And, you know, the reason why I joined the Army. So, I mean, I've been to Gettysburg. I've been to multiple Civil War sites across North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and I've been to the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. But one of the, I don't know if anybody knows about it. It's not I don't know how big it is, but it's a big place. It's it's the Middle Eastern conflicts memorial in Marsavillas or Marsa, something. I think it's in Illinois. I don't want to destroy the name. I already did.
Will you? What is the name of it, Dan?
The Middle Eastern Conflicts Memorial.
Okay, I'll pull that up and you talk about it.
But anyways, I was able to, on my way when we left New York to come back, you know, and they have engravings of all the servicemen and women that had died in the Middle Eastern conflicts from, I believe, early '90s. I think it started off at the Desert Storm, but I think it actually started before then. But you know, to see, and I do have, you know, the copy or the carbon, or not pencil. Well, took a pencil and did a little, I can't remember what it's called, but the
etching.
The etching, yeah, the etching, you know, of men and stuff that I served with, and it was a really touching time for me. So
that would be in Marcellus, Illinois.
Marcellus, Illinois. I knew I'd mess up the name, but
and it took 20 years to honor our Vietnam veterans, almost 60 years to honor our World War II veterans. The names on the wall represent our fallen heroes from such diverse locations as Panama, Lebanon, the Balkans, Grenada, Somalia, Haiti, the U.S. Cole, the USS Stark, terrorist attacks in Italy, Greece, Scotland, and the current conflicts in the Middle East. So that is what Dan is talking about there. So definitely another place to check out, because it sounds like an amazing spot.
it is amazing, and I really do hope to get back there one day. I mean, I want to get back to D.C. and the memorial, or you know, the World War II memorial, the Vietnam memorial. It's amazing just to see it. So.
Well, I got a chat here from Gator Jake, and I'm not ending the show with this. I probably should have, and I wish I would have had this a little bit earlier, but he requested that when I get a moment to read about his friend. And what's a better moment than this Memorial Day weekend? So we're going to share this with everybody. William Dodd Geiger, Major, U.S. States Army Air Forces. William Dodd Geiger was born on 17th April 1883 and died on 6 December 1971. During World War II, he served in the Army Air Forces and was apparently a prisoner of war for some time. He is buried in Arlington National Cemetery, and his wife, Caroline J. Geiger, 2 October 1892 to 8 February 1978, is buried with him. Thank you very much, Gator Jake, for sharing that. Oh, sorry. Wrong link. He wasn't sure what happened, but hang on. All right, here we go. I've got the right link now. And stop me if I start telling the wrong information. So here we go. William Downs, Major, U.S. Air Force. DoD identifies Air Force casualties. The Department of Defense announced today that the deaths of 4 airmen who were supporting Operation Iraqi Freedom. The airmen died May 30th in the crash of an Iraqi Air Force aircraft during a training mission in eastern, Dan, is that Diyala province?
I can't read it.
Okay.
Probably.
Let's see here. Oh, okay. It is. You just can't read it on the screen. Got it.
No.
Major William Downs, 40, of Winchester, Virginia, assigned to the 6th Special Operations Squadron. He was a man of faith. Well, let's see here. Let's go down the list here. Captain Jeremy Fresks, 26, of Clarkdale, Arizona, assigned to the 23rd Special Tactics Squadron. Captain Derek Argil, 28, of Lompoc, California, assigned to the 23rd Special Tactics Squadron. And Staff Sergeant Casey Crate, 26, of Spanaway, Washington, assigned to the 23rd Special Tactics Squadron. The cause of the crash is currently under investigation. He was a man of faith. Air Force Major killed in Iraq, remembered by loved ones for commitment to church family. Air Force Major William Bryan Downs lived in Frederick County for less than 3 years, but during that short time, his strong commitment to family, church, friends, and community left a lasting impression. He was the kind of guy you wished you had a church full of, said the Reverend Mark Carey, senior pastor at Fellowship Bible Church on Middle Road, where Downs and his family attended services. He was a man of faith who didn't separate it as once-a-week activity, but he made it a part of all that he did. Downs, 40, and 4 others were killed on Memorial Day in a plane crash in Iraq. His family will receive friends from 6 to 8. Okay, so that just tells you the... But you can go and check this out. It's arlingtoncemetery.net/Williams-Down. And I will also copy that and put that into the chat. So if you're interested, please go check that out, because my dad says, why are commercials showing up in the middle of your show? Well, the reason commercials are showing up in the middle of my show is because we've gone an hour and 17 minutes now, and we really haven't had a show go that long. Not a problem, Gator Jake. It's my honor, truly. Tony said I joined so I could jump out of perfectly good planes. And Dan almost was a jumper.
Almost. I actually had a jump school start, and then deployment came in and took it away. And then when I got back from deployment, I was like, brag, Germany, brag, Germany.
Well, guys, I think that's going to come to the end of the program, and I do have something special saved for last. But before we go, Dan, we'll start with you, and then we'll have Gary give his last words, and then I'll close out the show.
All right. Well, I just want to say thanks for watching, and make sure that you actually, if you're in the U.S., take time and reflect on, you may know somebody that paid the ultimate sacrifice, you may not, but regardless of the fact, their sacrifice is giving us the freedom that we enjoy today. So please take time to reflect on that while you're eating your hamburger and hot dog and riding your side by side or whatever you're doing.
So we all know what Dan's doing this weekend.
No, I'm doing yard work.
Gary?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, I'm going to speak for the people, your viewers and everything. We really appreciate what you do for the veterans. You're an outstanding role model to so many people based on your efforts and your abilities, what you do. Hashtag find a way to serve is very important to me. Tomorrow I will be at the Santa Rosa County Veterans Memorial. They have they have an event. I almost called it festivities again. That word got me in trouble recently. It starts at 10 a.m. and it goes until at least 3 p.m. I found out. Somebody that was contacting me told me that he's playing taps at 3 p.m. I don't have the ability to stay there all day. I'm going to try and film what I can in the morning, perhaps for about an hour. I may come back for the playing of taps. I just don't know what my schedule is. But I also want to acknowledge Brian from Cheesehead Media for all the work he does behind the scenes. He's a true whiz with documents, and his efforts are always greatly appreciated. Do you have the thermometer pulled up by chance?
Well, I don't have it updated yet.
Okay.
But the thermometer is right here, and it was 240, so we're at 290 right now after it gets updated. And thank you, Gator Jake, for that donation. That's greatly appreciated.
Gator Jake, I am in Santa Rosa County, so I'm going to be in downtown Milton tomorrow morning.
Maybe you guys can meet up if you're in the same area. That would be awesome. All right. Well, guys, I do appreciate it. And Gary just gave me the perfect segue to how I'm going to close out the program. So taps is something that everybody knows. Before field radios, the bugle was the most important member of a fighting force because battlefield maneuvers were relayed by bugle. It was during the early days of the Civil War where it was actually created. It's recognized universally as an American call. In July 1862, General Daniel Butterfield in Harrison Landing, Virginia, after the 7-day conflict, there were 29,000 men wounded or dead. And he wanted a different call for lights out. So this is actually a different rendition of something that they called Scott's Tattoo. It was a little bit faster, but they took out one of the low notes and they lengthened the rest of the notes. And during the Civil War, it was actually used by the Union, and after the Confederates heard it, they started using it themselves. But it was only used first by a captain in an artillery company instead of a gun salute, because they were worried that one of the other people from the Confederacy would start shooting at them if they used a gun salute. It wasn't until 1891 when these lyrics were officially, or this music was officially recognized as something that would be used during a military funeral. And the most famous person that actually played taps was the bugler that played it for when JFK died. And he actually made a little bit of a mistake because of the weather. But here are the lyrics. Day is done. Gone the sun. From the hills, from the lake, from the skies. All is well. Safely rest. God is nigh. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in.